live stream with Mr. Guest Speaker, Coach Tai Pham. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about what to do if you are a man who's struggling to find the energy and the motivation to work out and perform at your optimal level when it comes to your career, when it comes to your social and family relationships, and of course, when it comes to your actual physical body and how you feel on a daily basis. So motivation and energy, the two topics are very much tied together. And I'm really honored to have a guest speaker, Mr. Coach Tai Pham here, because he leads the elite athletic movement. So he works with dads. He leads hundreds of dads to have more energy and share more memories with their kids. So I'm really, really stoked to have Tai here. And Tai, I just want to give you a chance to introduce yourself. So tell us about yourself, man.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? I'm Tai Pham. I'm the coach at the Elite Athlete Movement. And just a little background story of myself is that I'm 25 years old. I've been a personal trainer for over 5 years, and in this online business about almost a year. But my specialty is to work with dads who are in the range of 35 to 55 who are struggling to have the energy, right? I'm very focused on dads not only getting the best shape of their life, but to get them moving, getting that explosive energy so that they can share more memories with their kids, because, you know, everyone knows that your kids is your life. So your focus should be your kids, but you also have to focus on yourself. So that's a little, glimpse of what I do. And I'm super excited to be on this podcast and to be Munir's guest for today.
100%, man. Well, I'm stoked to have you here. And definitely, as I'm actually about to turn 25 in a little under 2 weeks, I started thinking about my future because I'm always very future oriented. And even though I'm turning 25, I feel like I'm turning like 40 or something. So I'm thinking about my own legacy and what I want to do and the type of man who I want to be today, so that when my kids are my age, they can look back and say, what kind of man was Munir? Did he leave a legacy, or was he the guy who always complained that he was tired, didn't have energy, and wasn't motivated? Because, you guys will see fitness coaches like ourselves, and you may think we got tons of energy all the time. And that is certainly a part of what we do and what we are presenting to you guys and coaching you guys. We are doing it with high energy. But that doesn't mean that we don't go through our own struggles. Even being as young as we are, we go through plenty of struggles. In fact, just to keep it 100 with you guys, a couple of minutes ago, I was recovering, just laying on the couch, recovering my body from being tired, because we're always running ourselves into a ground, especially on the weekend. It's a time to recuperate and recover. And one thing we're going to be talking a lot about today, especially with that being Ty's specialty, is really how to schedule this stuff in to make sure that it happens for yourself. And sometimes you got to schedule and rest too. And that's something that I'm finally starting to practice, that I've always preached, is that just like when you train a muscle in the gym or when you're injured, you have to allow yourself to recover so that you can come back and give your best. But I want to turn it over to Tai, because there's a lot of different things that you're going to struggle with if you have low energy and when you're tired and when you're not motivated. And if you allow this to become a habit for yourself and you allow yourself to be in a low energy state for prolonged periods of time, it's going to do a lot of damage to your life. So Tai, what happens when guys have low energy and motivation?
I mean, a lot of things. Everyone is different, especially if you're working with, when you're working with young men, I'm working with dads. It varies across the board. And people with low energy, it causes you not to feel like yourself. First of all, your attitude is going to be shifting. So the energy that you have within you is going to be presented to the audience, your friends, your family, and they can see that. You might not perceive it yourself, but they can see it for sure. You know what I mean? And the amount of energy that you produce is what people perceive you as. And that's super important. But that's like the family, the friends kind of thing. But in terms of energy, like how you feel and how you perform, especially in the gym or everyday life, going to work, you need the energy if you're working 9-to-5 job on a 5-a-day basis, right? You need that energy so that you can actually perform and do your deadlines for work, or else what's the outcome? You might get fired. You know what I mean? You won't get paid. And there's so many different outcomes that's going to happen. And for sure, a lot of young guys, like New Year's clients, they have a lot of different problems. But for dads, if you don't have the energy, you're going to run yourself down to the ground. You're not going to recover as fast. Your kids are going to suffer. So why do you guys have energy problems, right? The reason why is they don't have time management. Just like Munir said, they're not scheduling their time correctly. They're not time managing. They're not feeling fulfilled to do things on a day-to-day basis? And I hope I answered that question for you, Munir, but what's your take on it?
Yeah, dude. Well, absolutely, man. We're definitely gonna dive in. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why guys have low energy, regardless of whether they're over 35 or under 35, whether they have kids or not. And as far as like what causes low energy, I think a lot of it. And I recently heard this actually in a webinar that I was listening to for my own personal development, which is that one of the biggest causes of depression, which is often associated with low energy and doubts about the self, but one of the biggest causes of depression is having nothing exciting or positive to look forward to. And a lot of us get caught up in the same grind, the same rhythm where we have nothing positive to look forward to. And that's a big part of why I highly recommend that you plan something to look forward to in your schedule every single week, even every single day, even if it's something simple like relaxing or doing something at the very end of the day to help yourself wind down. Because when you have that thing to look forward to, it no longer feels like such a grind. And as you continue to build your capacity, you need less and less of those little rewards, but you still need those rewards no matter who you are, because no matter how much of a machine you become, no matter how much of a beast you are, you're still a human being and you need that chance to recover and recuperate. So, but yeah, definitely like when you have low energy, like a lot of bad stuff happens. Like, I mean, you find yourself unproductive, which continues to build a negative momentum or momentum backwards, versus when you are productive, you're producing this positive momentum forward. And that's what we all want. And when we don't have that, we feel very discouraged, and it leads to that sense of depression. So I think what I've, excuse me, one of the biggest things we all want in life is just to live more out of life and make the most out of our lives. And when we have low energy, we are not able to do that. And so we start to doubt our potential. We start to cap our potential. We start to wonder if this is all that life really is. And that's depressing, man. It's really depressing. And so many guys, exactly, so many guys underachieve in their lives. And so many guys become really jaded too. Like, you know, you'll see guys go through midlife crises later on in life because they've amassed wealth. They've amassed different things, yet they're never happy on the inside because they never really truly achieved their dreams. They chose the comfortable, easy, reliable route. But the comfortable, easy, reliable route really isn't so comfortable because you don't feel comfortable with yourself. And it isn't really easy, because how easy is it to wake up every single day doing something you're not passionate about? Look, it's easier said than done. No matter what route you choose, it's going to be hard. But having low energy sucks. So Ty, like, what are some of the causes that you've seen with your clients and what causes low energy? I know you're mentioning like people don't schedule, but let's build a little more on that.
For sure. What causes that? I mean, it's a lot of pent up damage, right? Traumatic events. A lot of them say it's marriage. I'm like, damn, your marriage is actually like either shit or like you're doing something wrong, right? And that's a huge cause in why you have low energy. I mean, your wife, your significant others bring you down and say, hey, I like you big. I like you big. I like you having a little bit more body fat. And guess what? That's going to cause you to have low energy. The more body fat you have is just going to cause you to bring yourself down. And having that person that doesn't support you, I mean, that's negative energy towards you, right? And like I said, I'm a biologist, so like energy is not destroyed or created, right? So the energy that you have from your significant other, it's going to be shifting towards you, right? So it's always a circle. It's a continuous circle. So if your energy is straight from your significant other, transferred to you, and then you transfer it to your kids, it's going to go full circle. That's one big cause that I see in the environment. Just like your friends, right? If you have that one shitty friend who's always negative and he talks so much crap, who's always negative, that's going to bring to you, right? And you're going to bring that negativity back home. That energy is just going to drive you to the ground. Like, you won't be the person that you want to be. The version of yourself isn't going to be the greatest version, right? So that's just one aspect of what happens if you have low energy. And the causes of it is your environment, right?
Oh, big time. Yeah, I mean, environment's huge. And that's why I always tell people, like, you got to cut out negative and stressful people. And if you can't cut them out, you got to limit exposure. So it brings up an interesting point when you mentioned the significant other, right? Like, so if you're married to somebody who is bringing you down, like, you know, you're with a negative woman who's giving you drama, right? Now, getting divorced is a little bit dramatic, right? And so I say the first place to look is work on your marriage. But to work on your marriage, you got to work on yourself. You got to look within yourself, and you got to step up as a leader, because as men, whether we like it or not, we are leaders, and we have to lead ourselves. We have to lead those around us. And I see guys who blame their partner for why they eat like shit, because their partner wants them to be heavy, because maybe their partner's insecure of whether they get a nice body, they're going to leave them. No. Like, look, you lead your partner. You make the decisions. You call the shots. You are the man. If your wife is giving you drama, be tactful about it. Don't like blow her up. Listen to her. Don't try to contain her energy, but stay centered and grounded within yourself. And in order to do that, you have to be a leader, and you have to lead yourself. And you got to be able to lead your own body. You have to be able to take control of your own habits. Now, look, you don't become a leader overnight, especially if you've been in the habit of not being so for 10 years, 20 years, however long it's been. But that's why it's very, very important to start being honest with yourself and calling yourself out and finding people who do call you out, who hold you accountable. We talk about environment, and environment's very, very key. But don't surround yourself by people who coddle you just in the name of being positive. A true friend is positive, believes in you, holds you accountable, and believes that you are capable of growing. And because they believe that you're capable of growing, they're not afraid to offend you and call you out. It's hard. It's hard for me. That's one of the challenges that we face as coaches, is calling people out when we know that that person might get pissed off and leave us, and then we lose a client. But at the end of the day, if we're going to truly help our clients, we got to be honest and keep it 100 with you guys. So again, a little bit of a tangent there, but again, like if your wife is, not happy, you got to look at yourself and see what can you do to be better. So that's a perfect segue into our next question. Tai, what are some of like your strategies, and what are some of like the things that guys need to do to improve their energy and better themselves?
For sure. And I just want to add on to like what you said about taking ownership, right? The environment that you have with the people around you. You have to own your truth. You have to know yourself. Like, you're doing it for yourself. This is your body, right? You have to, for any method to work, you have to understand that this is for you. For any tactic, for any strategy, this is for you. This is not for your significant other. You're not doing it for your kids. You're not doing it for your wife. You know what I mean? And for you to feel healthy, feel happy, that has to go towards you. You have to feel it yourself. Like, if you want your kids to be happy, you have to be happy. You want your wife to be happy, you have to be happy. So like you said, you have to be that leader in your own life so that you can lead your family. Wow. And, the method that I do for more energy is like, think about the outcome, right? I like to use this equation a lot within my system with my coaching, is that you need to think about the actions that you need to do to be fulfilled, right? What does that fulfillment look like? Is that to have a better relationship with your wife? Is it to have a better relationship with your kids? And then what is the emotion that comes with it? You feel happy, right? You feel satisfied, you feel fulfilled, right? So the strategy that I like to do is just reverse engineer your goals and then follow through with action. And everyone is different. Everyone's so different. So how in the hell do you do this, right? So let's start with something really easy. You want to feel happy. How do you feel happy? Well, you have to please your wife in some type of way. And that's communication, right? Communication. And what is the action that you have to do? You have to be true to yourself, speak your truth, be courageous, and just tell her what you feel. Guess what? She's either going to judge you and dislike you, but she's most likely going to be understanding of you, right? That's what a marriage is about. It's about communication. And don't get me wrong, I have no idea what marriage is supposed to be. I'm not married, but you know what I mean? It's about communication.
Like any relationship, it is about communication, and it's like part of stand up for the truth is not doing things to be liked, but doing things to be respected, but also allowing people to be wrong about you. Because if you do things to appease the people around you, make people like you, that's shit. But if you do things for your own self-respect because you know that's the right thing to do, then you're always going to do the right thing. I mean, at the end of the day, the right thing to do is always the right thing to do. And part of that is owning the truth. But yeah, it applies to marriage 100%. And your wife is going to need to respect you because you're her husband before you're her friend. And hopefully friendship is part of that. I think that's part of the equation for a healthy marriage as well. But yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Tai, keep going. What were you going to say?
And I mean, that's the baseline. That's the foundation of what I do, right? And let's do something like surface level. In order to have more energy, that is your fulfillment, right? That's your fulfillment. Now, what is the emotion coming from that fulfillment? Is that you're going to feel happy, you're going to feel motivated, you're going to feel inspired. So what exactly do you need to do to have more energy? Well, and I'm not going to get into the tactics. I'm going to get into the principle that you need to schedule your time every single week and then schedule it every single day. What is the intention that you have to do every single day to get that fulfillment? Now, during that day, you have to schedule either by hour or by minutes, because depending on how busy you are, you might be scheduling it every minute. And as coaches, it's very apparent that we do this on a minute basis because time is valuable. Being a dad is valuable. You don't get time back. So you have to schedule your time accordingly, right? So on a day-to-day basis, what time do you work? What time do you train? What time do you eat? How many calories do you eat on a daily basis? And then track it throughout the week. And by doing so, that's going to make you feel fulfilled. Having that emotion of, oh, wow, I did something great this weekend. I feel amazing. Like, do you ever have that friend that says, hey, how are you doing? What was your week like? And it's like, it's all right. It could have been better. So how would you make it better, right? You have to self-reflect and then self-improve. Mm-hmm. And the next time you see your friend, it's like, yeah, I had a great week. You know what I mean? And your friend is going to be like saying, dope, man. I love to hear that. I love to hear your story. Mm-hmm. See, the energy is always transferring. Working on yourself first, and then transferring that energy back to your friend, your family, your kids. It's a huge thing.
Big time. And your significant other as well.
Yeah.
That's a big thing too. Like, that becomes a part of motivation, because once you do get positive momentum, you start to inspire those around you and really benefit others in a positive way. And, you know, sometimes that is something that we take for granted as coaches. But like I said in the very beginning of this podcast, like, we as coaches, we're not perfect either. Like, we go through our own ups and downs. It's really important that we keep ourselves on a high level of energy so we can transfer that to you guys as our clients and to those around us, and just for the pure sake of being a good human being. And that applies to all of us. Like, within your life, when you boost your energy levels, you become a positive force to people around you. You become a magnetic personality that people like to be around, whether it's your significant other, your kids, people at work, people in your business, your own clients, if you are a business owner, you know, your boss, your customers, you know, whatever it is, the people around you are going to benefit. And when you optimize yourself, you develop this positive energy that everybody around you can feel. I took a couple notes on what Tai was talking about, because I had a couple things like, yeah, and you know, scheduling everything in. Like Tai says, you got to schedule in your rituals, your habits, the things you do, like a morning routine, right? If you roll out of bed into the chaos of your day with no organization, without creating space, without having a solid routine to get yourself into an optimal mental state, you're not going to have an optimal day. And, you know, it's very, very important, if you want to produce that energy and have that fulfillment that comes from making the most out of life, to have more energy, more memories with your kids, more memories with your friends, more memories with your significant other, better performance, better production, everything in life. You got to be able to schedule in that time to make sure you take care of those things, instead of just hoping that they're going to happen without you doing anything. And again, it comes down to outcome efficiency. Get clarity on what you want, like Tai said, and reverse engineer what it takes to get that, and really be honest about it. Like, you know, we can all say, yeah, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, I want to be super high energy, and I'm going to get there by doing, like, you know, I'm going to do my morning routine once this week. Yeah, okay. Your morning routine is kind of like showering. If you shower once, by the end of the week, you're going to be dirty because you only showered once. But if you shower every day, you're going to be clean, right? Sometimes, depending on where you live and depending on what you do, you got to shower 2 or 3 times a day. But ultimately, same thing. Depending on your environment, you got to motivate yourself and create space within your head and engage in habits that bring you energy, potentially multiple times a day. If you are in a shitty, negative environment that you haven't gotten yourself out of yet, that you haven't swum out of yet, you're in a hole. Or 2, if you engage or you have to do a lot of things that drain your energy throughout the day. So it's important to just be honest with yourself and audit your time, audit your schedule, audit your day, and truly be honest about what you need to do to get the desired outcome that you want.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to go into that a little bit more, is that scheduling your time is super fucking easy, right? You can just get a calendar. I have like 2 calendars over there, planner. But the first task I do for my dads is like, yo, you gotta set your time up. And guess what? The data that I've seen is that only 10% of dads actually do this. Why? Because they don't think it's valuable. You don't think that time is valuable. You know what I mean? They don't think that time is actually something that you can get back, and they don't think it's a significance. But the 10% that actually do plan every single day, whether that may be planning for the day or planning for the night, for the next day, those 10% are winning. And
Okay.
it's super, super easy. Just writing a few things down and getting across so that you can actually see it tangibly and say, hey, yo, this is what I gotta do. This is the plan. Let's hit it, right? When you see something so visible right in front of you, you're more likely to hit it, right? When you see that deadline, you're more likely to do it.
Mm-hmm. And that's the crazy thing is like the 10% who actually do take the time to do that are the ones who hold themselves accountable or in an environment where they are held accountable. Because accountability is key. I mean, it's so easy when no one's watching, if you haven't built those habits or accountability within yourself, to slack and take the easy way, because we all have two voices within our head. There's the voice of that little kid that has always existed. You know those little whiny kids that you see, like you'll see kids, maybe your kids are like this, which may be a reflection on you, so watch out. But if you see that whiny kid who's like, I don't wanna, it's hard, I don't wanna, we all have that voice in our heads. And be honest with yourself when that voice pops up, because we all have that voice in our heads. The voice of the little kid that doesn't want to. And depending on what kind of habits you've engaged in your whole life, that voice may be more prevalent than the man who says, you know what, I don't feel like doing this, but I need to do this because it's for the greater good. It's the right thing to do. And it's the thing that I know I need to do to get to where I want to go. We all have that voice of a leader, a driven man within our heads as well. And it's very, very important to nurture that voice by slowly building your capacity. Capacity is not built overnight. It happens slower than we might estimate, but once we actually do it, it becomes faster than we think. I know that sounds like a paradox, but the only way you're going to know is if you find out and you actually try it. So audit yourself, be honest where you're at right now, and truly plan your course to victory. And that's truly what we do as coaches, is it's like, look, this is hard to do on your own, for fucking sure. And what we do is we provide a roadmap. So my path that I provide for my clients is called the Awaken Path. The whole idea is awakening the athlete within, awakening the confident, driven, successful man within yourself, because you have that person within yourself. And Tai will attest to this too. We all have these voices within ourselves, and a big part of how you become who you want to become and embody the habits you want to become is by shifting your identity. And Tai and I, we learn from the same mentors who we've invested in, who have taught us how to create this transformation within our own lives and in the lives of those who we lead. And that is how we know it to be true, because not only do we do this within our own lives and our own truth, but we do this with the people we work with, and we see the results of that for the guys who put in the work. So at the end of the day, accountability is huge.
Yeah, for sure. And it's your own outcome. No one is there to say, hey, you got to do this. I mean, you're old enough to know that you got to do it, right? No one's going to hold your hand and tell you, you have to do this. You don't want to do it, but you have to do it. And this is for you. This is not for us. If you win, we win. Simple as that, right? And we love to see transformations happen all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all up to you. It's your outcome, it's your results. How bad do you want it? And it's also like a muscle. Like training and putting in the reps is putting on muscle, but also mindset is a muscle as well. You got to train it every single day. I mean, you'll fall off every single time, maybe once or twice a week, but it's a muscle that you got to train. And to grab a pencil, write it in a journal, that's a muscle that you got to work on. The principle, it's not the tactics.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's so true. Like, I mean, like we talk about, capacity is not built in a day, but just like everything else, what I like to tell people is that, cause some people get frustrated. Like, we give them this kind of information and tell them what to do and even how to do it. But a lot of people get frustrated that it like takes time and that there's resistance, because they're like, why is it that I know what I need to do, yet I have trouble doing it? And there's a lot of deep psychology we can go into there that's specific to the individual. So it really depends on like you in particular. But the biggest thing you have to realize is that when you encounter resistance within your mind, it's actually a blessing, because just like how we use resistance at the gym to strengthen our physical body, physical resistance, the mental resistance that you encounter and overcome builds your mental capacity. So just know that nothing worth having comes without struggle, and you have to struggle through that in order to get to where you want to go and truly build your mental capacity up. So guys, I hope that this podcast was helpful for you guys. Tai, definitely a pleasure to have you here, man. And if you guys want to contact Tai, like for those of you guys who are 35 plus and who have kids, who are dads, and especially if you're a former athletic dad, because in fact, most of your clients, Tai, I believe, are former athletes, right?
Yep. They used to play football, soccer, all kinds of sports. And a lot of my dads are actually around 45 to 50. So not anybody who's a little bit younger, but anybody who's a father, you guys need the help, right? And if you guys need the help, you can definitely follow me on Instagram, I'm going live almost every single day just to give more context, more coaching, and giving out more value. You can follow me on Instagram at _ Tai Pham, TAIPHAM. And if you want to actually contact me personally, you can also always DM me, always send me a personal message. And I'll always, if you want, contact Munir. I'm on his friends list, and just let him know. But if you want to contact me through Facebook, my fan page or my Elite Athlete Movement page is Tai Pham Fitness. Go there, like it, subscribe, whatever you have to do, and hope you enjoy my content.
Absolutely. And guys, like, you may be wondering, okay, why am I bringing Ty on here and like letting him pitch, you know, what he does? And that's because, like, look, not everybody's going to be a good fit for me. Not everybody's going to be a good fit for Ty. In fact, you may not be a good fit for either of us. But part of what we talk about with always doing the right thing is actually referring you guys to the right coach. So, like, for some of you guys who truly are going to work better with Ty, I encourage you to go to him. So reach out to me and let me know, yo, man, I really like you, but Ty seems pretty legit. How do I contact this guy? I'm going to put you in touch with him, because if he's truly the guy for you, he is truly the guy for you. And of course, you guys know where to find me. Send me a message, comment down below. Let us know what's up. Let us know what your takeaways are from this video. And of course, if you ever need someone to talk to, we're both here for you. So whoever you feel is the right fit for you. And even if you're just curious who is the right fit, send us a message, because we'll be happy to talk to you. We'll be happy to jump on a call with you and really help you get to where you want to go, because at the end of the day, we coach because we love to coach, and that is what we do. So anyways, guys, let me actually check on Facebook, see if anybody posted any questions. Sweet. We actually got some very nice feedback. Anthony, Daniel, appreciate you guys commenting. Marcus, Jacob, appreciate you guys' likes on the post as well. Kyle as well. But anyways, guys, that is it for today's podcast. Follow Ty. Once again, I'm going to post his contact info down below, and I'm going to add him to the Secrets of the Driven Man group where we're originally streaming this, so that you can actually add him and find his page. Now, I'm also, for those of you who are watching this on replay on YouTube, as well as any of iTunes, you know, Spotify, we'll be able to get you that info as well in the details below. So Ty, anything else for him?
I think that's it. Have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment, have Munir answer them, and do more lives. And hopefully I'll be on the next episode.
Absolutely. We're definitely going to do another one. So, and if you guys have another topic for us for our next podcast, let us know, because we'll be happy to do a podcast on that. All right, guys, have an amazing Saturday. For those of you watching this on replay, definitely would like to hear your takeaways. And guys, Ty, thanks so much again for being here, and I'll talk to you guys soon.